My name is Aaron Jablonski, and I have been an enthusiast of Super Smash Bros. As a competitive scene for 3 years. I am starting a new series called Gods and Kings of Super Smash Bros. This is a series where I interview players who have been largely dominant within their university, region, state, or even the world. The very first installment of this series starts with the #1 ranked player at Michigan Technological University, Noah McGuigan, aka Dubz. Dubz has long shown his power over the rest of the playing field in Super Smash Bros. Melee for the past 2 years, and his performance at Big House 8 has shown that he has promised not just to take names within his region, but perhaps within the Midwest, and soon enough, the rest of the world.
Here today at Big House 8, here with the #1 ranked player from the Upper Peninsula. This is an interview with Dubz. Thank you for taking some time away today.
Nice to see you, Jablonski. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We're going to start at the very beginning.
All right.
Every journey has a humble start.
Correct.
I want to know, just not in too much detail, try to concisely describe what brought you into competitive Melee.
I started off as a kid playing Smash 64, and I played that on my Nintendo 64. And when I was growing up, we didn't have money to spend on video game consoles and stuff. So when Melee came out, I was like, it was like
A life-changing
yeah,
experience?
it wasn't a life-changing experience. Maybe it was, and I just didn't know it back then. But it was a much better game because I love the characters. I love Ice Climbers, Peach, Ness, all those. Well, I guess Ness is in the other game, but those characters that were added. I remember that I would we would go to Family Video and we would rent a GameCube and I would play Melee on that. And then eventually for my my 6th birthday, my grandparents got me a GameCube with Melee on it, and I played that very casually with my father as a child. And then in 2015, I don't even know how I got back into it, but I think maybe I saw a VOD or something, on YouTube or something. And
something from I don't know, perhaps Apex?
Yeah, from some tournament, and I don't know how. I guess I just I didn't know people still played this game, and I remember I played Peach a lot. Well, I played a lot of characters back then, but I remember I picked up Peach because she was she's a good character, and I played a decent amount of her when I was a kid, so I kind of knew already what exactly. Kind of remembered her feel.
It's a pretty similar situation to a lot of people that I've heard from. People either played 64 or they got straight into Melee. I remember getting it back when Brawl was all the rage, back in 2008, back when it was a lot cheaper. So it's nice to hear, it really was truly a humble beginning. And not too many people knew just how big of a competitive scene it would become.
I know.
Coming down the road, we probably didn't think, oh yeah, this casual game is going to have 1,000 people showing up to a tournament.
Yeah.
It's a really big deal.
It's interesting.
Speaking of competition, you always do seem to have quite a bit of competition right directly behind you whenever you go to Michigan Tech Weeklies, because, always waiting right directly behind you to see if your guard is down. Victor, Jimmy, and Gabe are always seemingly right behind your tail.
Right.
How do you feel about it? Is it good for you? Do you feel like it's nice to have close competition, or does it make you nervous?
I think that it's good to have that pressure of knowing that, because when I first came to Tech, Victor, we were kind of on we weren't on the. We've definitely changed as players over the past 2 years. Yeah,
it really was.
It wasn't. It was different back then, but I was a little more comfortable with there was a little. I felt like Victor and then we're a little further back, but now that gap is shrinking, especially with Kenny. Kenny literally
I saw him playing yesterday.
He was playing crazy. He was playing out
his tech skill is just through the roof.
Yeah, he just all of a sudden he just snapped and he started playing like a god. I'm there's literally and then I come to Big House and
you just see the skill gap.
Yeah,
totally.
it's just there's a skill cap of the UP, and then there's a skill cap of everything else, and those skill caps don't match.
It just totally
and
continues
now,
to amaze you.
But like a top tier player in Houghton is a average tier player everywhere else, like in the nation. So it's like,
which it totally makes sense. I remember that being very polarizing for me when I showed up to Big House last year, because it's just like, wow, everybody is
good.
Everybody's really good.
I know.
And it does bring me into the next question, because being in college, you probably rotate between two very different scenes. You go from being at the university, and then you sometimes will go back home. If I remember this correctly, you do attend a series of weeklies called the Pool House Weeklies. Can you describe those to me in detail?
How'd you know that?
I took some research up on it. I looked at Facebook and I saw...
What the? Javon, you did your research for this? Wow, yeah, I go to Pool House, but like, okay. So the thing with Pool House is that it's in a trailer park in Richmond, Michigan, which has a population of like, it's not like there's no one there. Like there's one for Big Trip. I don't know if you've heard of him. He goes to Central. He's a Fox main. He used to be on the Coin Top 100 ranking, but he hasn't played a lot recently, or he just kind of fell off. But he's pretty good. There's a Sheik main there that's pretty good. But to give you like a scope, like there's probably like 10 to 12 max people joining those weeklies, and it's like you get like $10 for a pot for winning.
You know, it's a decent size.
Yeah, but
especially considering the number of people that actually live there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go there for like, I go there to hang out with my friends and like play, but I don't go there to win the tournament, or you know.
See, it's more or less a social experience.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun. I mean, like I go there to win, but I don't go there like
with the intent.
Yeah, it's not really a tournament to me. I guess it's more of like some friends playing some Melee.
Out of curiosity, was that the tournament series that you first started out with when you were starting to play competitively, or did you start at a different tournament series?
I mean, that's the only tournament series I went. Okay, so I've been to the Pool Houses, most of them, and I went to one tournament in Jackson, Michigan, that Ginger and Coin and stuff were at. I went there. I got 8th.
Not bad.
Yeah, and I go to the Tech ones and then Big House, and that's it. I don't go to tournaments really, but when I don't go to tournaments, I play net play. That's usually where I play.
That does bring me nicely into the next couple of questions, because as far as I'm aware, you are quite the net play warrior.
I love net play.
You moved your way really far up the ladder.
That's literally how I learned now.
And no kidding.
Like travel to different places.
Yeah, there really is. And
I'm even going to like Peru like next year.
oh, that's so hype! Oh my goodness!
And so, having gone to Big House and going to live tournaments, can you try to describe to me what it feels like to compete when you play in net play versus playing at a live tournament? What is it like for you?
For me, okay, so the thing that I like about live tournaments is that when I'm on net play, I have a tendency to get very tilted very easily, because it's a lot easier to get tilted when you don't see the other person and you don't have that kind of like human interaction. It's just some Sam that's fucking you up, or some it's just, but when you, I guess this is like kind of like, this is getting sappy, but it's not, but it's like you put like the player to a face, and it's different because I respect the player more that I see them than when
you see them for
I see them for a person and not just a melee,
some
just a
random person.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to like talk shit to people on netplay than in real life.
I personally always enjoyed live tournament experiences for more of the human interaction.
Yeah, it definitely,
and it brings a lot of character, not just to the person you're interacting with, but also yourself.
Right, I know, yeah, definitely. I definitely think that there's benefits to both, obviously, because with netplay, it's easy to play many, many more people than you would be able to regularly, but you do lose that side, that human interaction side, which is sad.
And year after year, it seems like there's less people showing up to national tournaments. Attendance numbers have really started to plateau, and in certain cases have actually dropped, which I think a lot of people in net play, it's a good thing to have for practice, especially practicing, because that gives you an opportunity to play with a variety of skill levels throughout the country.
Yeah.
But I think it's also absolutely necessary to go out and meet those people in person.
Netplay, I don't think netplay is anywhere. Well, it's getting better, but I still don't think it's anywhere near a substitute for going to someone like playing in person with someone.
And I don't mean to be an absolute person and preach to the choir,
That's
but I like to. It makes hearing that, you know. I like to say, you know, if you're competing in net play, you should try to show up to live tournaments because it's absolutely one hell of
that's what
an experience.
Ossify does. Ossify is the #1 net play warrior, and he's going to tournaments and he's top 10 in the state.
Michael did the same thing too. He was incredibly skilled in net play, and he's been #1 on the ladder for quite a few seasons, and now Michael 41 billion, I think.
I don't know who that is.
He's a call from the Chicago area, and he's gotten really good. He actually took a game off 11.
Wow, that's awesome.
The net play warriors are really making moves,
Yeah, they are.
especially when you bring them to a real tournament. They can really apply themselves.
But it's just interesting because with Ossify specifically, it's like he was solely net play for a long time, and then he transitioned. He transitioned into the physics, but he still has net play, so he's been able to balance the net play with the physical, you know, like in person.
The real version of
Yeah.
it. And I feel like that's fairly important at the end of the day. You
Yeah.
know, because they can both be really good, you know, moderated, balanced out.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
with the next question of mine, this one's going to be a little bit different from the usual questions that you've been receiving.
Okay.
You main Peach,
Yes.
which is a floaty character.
Yes.
A lot of the Melee community has quite a bit of mixed reception towards floaties in general.
I do. Yes.
How do you think that has it been improving over the years, or has it been getting worse?
I mean, people just like to shit on floaties because they think they're easy. And at low level, I think that's true. I think that Peach can carry people at lower levels, but once you get anywhere near like even medium or high level, people start knowing what they're doing, and foxes don't get down smash, they don't hold down. And so a lot of those people either need to like get good, or they're just, I don't know.
And I think in general, you know, you have to have a lot of respect for the people that decide, hey, I'm going to pick a character that's not nearly as beloved.
It's fast, or it's not as melee like people define melee.
People think of when they think of Melee, they think of
Fox Falco.
Fox Ditto's Final Destination.
Yeah, Fox Ditto, no items, FD.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. And they have to realize that there's more than like 5 characters that are meant to be played.
Yeah, that's why I like seeing low tiers too, because it's like like even though there is some decent variety, you know, like top 8 characters that are competitively viable, like at our level, or you know, for us, it's like yesterday it was really hard to see. There was that DK match versus Hugs. He almost beat Hugs. I forgot what his tag was, but he was really sick DK.
Twin Trend, right?
I think so.
Something like that. I don't remember.
Everyone was getting hyped for it. The whole venue was really watching him.
The Sacred Trends almost be Lucky, I think.
Yeah, and then I saw a Young Link play a Fox, and I forgot. I don't remember their tag. But
there was a lot of close upsets, and we're probably going to see more of those probably in person.
Yeah,
Big House.
that'd be great.
That'd be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would love that.
We're going from one hot topic to another, which is, of course, you know, in more recent times, there's been a lot of innovations that are being made to the game that help it become more accessible to people that have hand injuries. For example, Hack's Money is here, and he's been playing. He made it into round 2 pools, and he happens to use a controller called the Box.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, the Box is not exactly a controller that is totally balanced, and so there have been things like the Universal Controller Fix and Arduinos that have been incorporated into national tournaments.
Right.
And again, just like the last topic, there's been a bit of mixed reception towards it. I'm just wondering how you feel about UCF and Arduinos, and should they be incorporated into local tournaments at Michigan Tech if they aren't already?
So I think the Box is okay. I think UCF is, I mean, it kind of breaks, I don't know exactly, because I understand where a lot of the people who are against it are saying just keep vanilla Melee. We've played Melee like this for the past 13, 14 years. We don't need to change it. But then there's people also who you have to think of the inconsistencies with controllers, which gives people certain advantages over others just because of their controller. And I think everyone should be able to have a level. I guess I don't know exactly, but I do think UCF is good. I think the dashback is good. I like that. I think the main thing is the shield drops.
Even in the matches that I was not doing well in, I felt like the dashback was really crisp.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely good because I think that's RNG. I don't know too much about that, but I think it's pretty jank sometimes the way it works. But
there are certain moments where like you intend to do one thing and
it just doesn't dash back. And,
yeah.
But I think the shield drop thing is more the thing that people are upset about. Because it's making it pretty much really easy to shield drop now.
Yeah.
It's like making if you know the axe method where you put it in the kind of like the corner and you bring it down.
Yeah.
That's the range of that is like really, really greatly increased.
Yeah. And that was the method I first learned.
Right, yeah, that's how I do it.
Yeah. Shout outs to Axe.
Shout out to Axe.
Great player. Absolutely love him.
Yeah.
But I think that's good enough for me.
Like, unless Victor goes absolutely ham, right?
Yeah. What happened? He was going so strong last time.
So, right, and that's the thing about momentum. Like we were saying about that. So the momentum is swung. Like, Peach. Oh, dude, that was such a sick combo. Oh my god. The momentum swung against him and he couldn't handle it. Congratulations to Noah.
Going back to the topic of Peach, I know this is a character that you love.
I love Peach.
They have a passion for. There are a lot of players, I'm sure, that have absolutely influenced your style.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about them? People like perhaps Armada, Blade-wise.
Obviously Armada. I mean, Armada literally invented Peach. He literally made Peach. If it was not for Armada, Peach would not be any, like, the Peach, like, her, where she is in the meta right now, she would be nowhere near as good. Because she was used, obviously there's Wife, there's, like, DOH, there's Peaches that were before Armada that did really well.
They helped give a bit of a foundation.
Yeah, obviously. They like
for
Armada
to develop even further.
You have to give credit to those people for pushing, but Armada really took it to the next level with what exactly, he literally invented, no one, like, for example, no one was using Peach up air before Armada. Armada literally, like, not invented, but he
said, hey, I'm going
to try it, yeah, and no one had seen Peach be played like that before, and it was revolutionary for the Peach, all the Peach mains. Another pretty influential player is Lod. I watch a lot of Lod. He, now that Armada is retired, RIP, Lod is like up there in the top Peaches. Probably, I would think, him and, the top Peaches now are like Triff, Lod, Macdi,
I did mention Blade-wise before.
Yeah, Blade-wise, right.
Those are the ones I think of generally.
But it's just now that Armada's gone,
there's a massive hole that
it's like Jigglypuff players losing HBox. Almost the same. Not as extreme since
he is still participating in doubles. So
right.
It's not like he's entirely disappeared.
But in terms of singles, the representation of Peach is just now it's
drastically.
Yeah,
decreased.
no more top 8. There's no more Peaches in top 8 unless Mewtwo King means a good Peach.
Yeah, you do have to have a great appreciation for the legacy that Armada has left behind. You know,
sure.
carrying on a singles career for over a decade. That's not the easiest thing.
With a character no one thought was that good.
Yeah, nobody just does that.
No one does that.
You would get extremely fatigued trying to run that for at least a year. No less.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to Big House for a little bit because this was your first time attending a national event.
Correct.
Knowing you, what I've heard is that this was kind of a life-changing experience, especially in terms of the skill gap. You've described that it really has humbled you to see just how
good people are.
How good people are.
Yes.
And is there more ways that has changed you? Do you think this is a positive experience?
Oh yes.
There still is a lot for you to learn, I would suppose.
Yeah, because when you start thinking that you're the best and you start getting comfortable with where you are, you start putting yourself in like a box almost, and you start feeling really comfortable and feeling like, oh, okay, I don't have to practice that much. I don't have to try as hard anymore because you just go and you win. Like you don't like it's just
you're just so used to
but then when you go to a national level, it just completely changes the scope of everything, and it makes me like realize that like I think I play Melee a lot, and I play like maybe I don't play every day, but when I do play, I play for like 2 or 3 hours.
There have been players that I've been talking to that will play like
Yeah.
close to 12 hours in a single day.
They play a lot. They play like all the time. And
that is their life. You know?
And it's like, wow, I really don't spend as much time in Melee as like other people, and it's just, but it's a completely positive experience. There's nothing negative about it. It's amazing.
Because you know that it can only get better, and that with the training you'll learn new things that you can implement that maybe perhaps opponents back at home don't know much about.
Right. Yeah, correct. I agree.
And so that, with that being said, now that you've finished with Melee in Big House 8, where are you setting the bar now? What are your expectations for the future?
My expectations? I'm just, well, I don't know exactly. I'm just gonna ride the wave to wherever. But I do, you know, obviously I want to keep improving. I want to keep pushing myself to do better and better. And I really want to get into the mentality of just, because it's really hard when you're like down like 3 or 4, like 3 stocks to some rando. And you start blaming like the game, or you start blaming like the opponent, and you start blaming everything other than like yourself. Is like, it's really hard to just, for me personally, maybe it's easier for other people, but it's, you have to just say like, get good. Like, you just have to, like, there's ways. Armada can do it. Like, literally, it's possible. You just have to do it. You have to get good. You know.
And I believe we're nearing the end of our interview.
Okay.
I want to close with one last question. I don't want this to get too philosophical.
Okay.
I don't want to try to wax poetic with this, but you've been a part of Melee for quite a while now.
Yes.
As a game, what has it done for you?
It has it has brought me a lot of experiences that I would have never had I not tried Melee again. It has also brought me a lot of relationships that I will probably keep like for the rest of my life. Like the Smash Club people, like we're gonna be friends for like, you know, we might not talk after. I mean, like we might not talk every day, obviously, after we graduate, but we're still gonna be friends. We're still gonna have our chat and stuff. So
we're still gonna be communicating with each other.
So literally, Melee has created lifelong bonds that like can never that are always gonna be there. And it's from this stupid kids game from 2001. It's just really interesting. It's really cool, actually.
And it's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
Absolutely fantastic. With that being said, Dubz, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jablonski.
Good luck in your future.
Amazing job.
Thank you.
I love
for doing this.
Thank you.